Is it working? The internet can totally see you now. Let's see. Can you guys hear me properly? Can you guys hear me? Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me properly. I say yes, yeah. Okay, it looks like you guys can hear me. Kind of spur of the moment Q&A. Not sure if you guys would like to see this happen more often, but I figured it's something that I would do. I started that Q&A series on my channel that I think I did consistently for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was probably only 2, but this is something that I like doing. I answer a lot of questions on YouTube, so I figured that I would try to do these more often when I have time. The problem is just having time. Anyways, any questions you guys have, leave it in the chat, and basically I'll start answering questions, and we'll see. Depending on what kind of questions we get, we'll see how long it goes. Bob Sat asks, "Are you a cleat reseller?" No. I can't think of any cleats that I've ever bought and resold for more money. I think the topic of reselling soccer cleats in general is kind of dumb, because I don't think there's too many people that are actually willing to pay that kind of crazy amount of money, but no, not a reseller. Daniel Jung, how old are you? I'm 25. GCMA Films, Kim Jones or Off-White Mercurial? I really think the Kim Jones ones are a lot nicer. Christian Football, was it your dream to become a football reviewer on YouTube? Not. I kind of started YouTube before it was a thing to do YouTube. Not that I really even consider myself to be a YouTuber as it is right now, but it's something that I had a passion for reviewing and trying out all kinds of soccer products. So really the initial thing that started off Soccer Reviews for You was the website and writing reviews. And then the videos thing is something that I wanted to do that no one else was doing at the time. So that obviously turned into something much bigger than I could have ever expected. But yeah, I definitely like what I'm doing now, so I'm not complaining about how it all worked out. A-Kings, do you play Fortnite? Honest, no. I've never played it in my life. I did. A lot of you guys have been asking me if I'm going to do more FIFA live streams like I was doing, like, what, 4 or 5 months ago? It was a while ago now. I think I only did like 2 or 3 of them. And honestly, I have not played a single video game since then. So I just, video games is something that I just don't do a lot of anymore. I did it a lot more when I was like early 20s. Now that I'm in my mid 20s and just, I'm really busy, I just don't do it. Okay, more questions are coming in here. Will you ever be doing a review on the Nike Magia ball? That was Dale Corbett. At this point, I'm not sure that I will. The problem is so many new products come out that it's difficult to get to absolutely everything. It's a decent ball, if you're wondering about what I think about it. It's nothing spectacular, but for the price, it's definitely decent. Not gonna lie, your room is a bit messy. Thanks. I didn't notice. Didn't notice. Kevin Lopez, what was your first cleats? If I'm not mistaken, I think I made a video on that. They were Nike something. I'm not exactly sure what specific model. It might have just been a youth shoe, so I don't know exactly what it was. It was Nike, though. They were like navy blue and white. Do I have that picture around here? Probably not. No. Messi or Ronaldo, justify. Do I want to start World War III this early into a live stream? Not sure. Going back several years, I would say more Ronaldo. As of late, I'm definitely more Messi. I really like seeing what that guy's capable of doing, but I think it's so hard to pick between the two. I guess unless you're a diehard Madrid or a diehard Barsa fan, I guess obviously your choice is pretty obvious at that point. But if you're kind of a neutral watching, as I am, I'm really happy to watch both. And honestly, I don't really have a favorite. Let's see here. Where in the GTA are you from? Not from the GTA. Never lived there in my life. A lot of people just assume I live in Toronto. I don't. Let's see here. Lots of questions coming in. Thoughts on Zlatan? I think it's good that he came to the MLS. I mean, I'm not surprised because I'm not sure that anywhere in Europe would have paid any significant amount of money for him. Not saying the guy isn't still capable, but he is coming off is a knee injury. Yeah, it was a pretty serious knee injury. So I don't know. I mean, I think he'll do well in the MLS. I think he might be a little bit frustrated at first, but we'll see what happens. I think he actually made his debut today. I didn't actually get to watch the game. I was out of the house, but I think it's good. It's definitely good for the MLS. The guy brings a lot of attention wherever he is. What are good indoor shoes to get if you're on a tighter budget? That's Minecrafter25. Adidas Samba Classics are really what comes to mind. If you go to an outlet store, you can get them for like between $80 and $50, usually closer to $50, especially if you're in the US. But the Adidas Samba Classic, for the money, you're really not going to find anything that good for that cheap. Oh, here's a good question. Who do you think will win the World Cup? At this point, honestly, it's hard to say. I mean, I think Argentina is a pretty popular pick right now, and obviously everyone wants to see Messi win the World Cup. Lots of Ronaldo fans want to see him win the World Cup with Portugal as well. Germany, I don't know, they're kind of all over the place. Obviously, Brazil's going to have certain expectations for this tournament as well, but I don't know. I mean, I'd say Argentina because I do have some faith in Messi, and I think that squad as a whole is pretty loaded right now, but it's really, really early to say. I can't say that I have a strong prediction for anybody as of right now. Who is your favorite player in the history of the beautiful game? Three guys. Three guys come to mind. I can't pick one favorite. Thierry Henry, really loved him growing up. Ronaldinho, really loved him growing up. And then still playing now, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I love Ibrahimovic's demeanor when he plays. Just seems like such a mean, intimidating player out there on the field. So he's definitely up there. Do you speak Serbian? Because I'm from Slovenia. No, I do not. Let's see here. Did you buy the Off-White Vapor Spray? That's Justin Cozart. I did manage to get a pair, so I'm not sure how soon I'm going to get them, but I did manage to secure a pair. When they arrive, I most likely will do a video, though, so stay tuned for that. Worst boot of 2017. When I did the SR4U boot awards for the year, I'm pretty sure that I gave that, I don't even remember what my pick was. I'm trying to think what it was. You have to go back and watch the video. Honestly, I do not remember off the top of my head. I guess I can tell you right now what I didn't care for as much. Not Nike. I mean, I thought the Puma 17.1 was kind of a disappointing shoe. Obviously, the Under Armour Spotlight 2.0 I thought was kind of not a great effort from Under Armour. The Joma Champion Max, but I'm not sure that even counts. Nothing off the top of my head jumps out as like really, really bad. What MLS team do you support? TFC. Jersey collection vid. I did promise that a long time ago, and it still will happen. I just haven't had time to do it, guys. I apologize. I know that's one that a lot of you guys have been waiting for. Josh, do you watch wrestling? No. Never have. Let's see. Whoa. Where are we here? Xbox or PS4? I technically have both. Don't play either of them, so take that for what it is. Would you come to California? Yeah, it's, at some point I'd love to go to California. That would sound like a good time. You would be an excellent wrestler. Okay, cool. Worst boot of all time? That's asked by Ninja Kid. That I've actually, I don't want to pick shoes that I haven't worn, but out of everything that I've worn, the one that always kind of jumps out at me as being really, really bad was a shoe by Diadora. It was called the Cambio, and it wasn't a high-end product. It was just a low-end shoe. I think the retail was only like $50 or $60, but it's kind of like the Adidas Glitch. There should be a video up on my channel if I'm not mistaken. If you just search Diadora Cambio, it's Cambio. It was like a translucent plastic shell and then an internal kind of neoprene sock. So the two kind of fit together. But the shoes just feel absolutely horrendous. It looks awful. It feels awful. Those probably are the worst ones that I've ever worn just because they're almost borderline unwearable. Let's see. How about the Walmart boot? I'm assuming you're asking if those are the worst. It's hard to criticize Walmart products. I mean, it's Walmart. What do you want? Let's see. What do you think is going to win the World Cup? Already answered that. Are the Toronto Raptors winning the NBA Finals? I'd love to see it happen, but I don't know. I know Toronto as a sports city has a lot of faith in their team, but we'll see what happens with that. I think we conclude he doesn't play Fortnite. He doesn't use his PS4 or Xbox. That's pretty accurate. I have not played that. I probably should. Would you guys be interested in a Fortnite live stream? I mean, it'd probably be bad to watch since I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't know. Let me know. Do you think the X18 are going to be like the Addy Zeros? Based on the pictures, if you guys... Let's shout out my Instagram while we're at it. My Instagram is at SR4U_Josh. You should be in the description, if there is a description while I'm live streaming. I am at 199,000 followers, like very, very close to 200K. So if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to go ahead and do that while this live stream is happening. Because that'd be awesome if I could hit 200K. I'll actually check on my phone right now. But the original question was... Oh, the new X that is looking like it's going to come out. If it's going to be called the X, I posted a few pictures of a couple players wearing blacked out variations of it. It looks very promising. It's very 2014 F50 Addy Zero-esque. Do I have that around here? No, I don't. But I really like the way that it's looking so far. It looks like it's going to have some kind of a mesh base. There's going to be a laceless and a lace variation, so similar to what we're seeing right now with their high-end products. But I'm very excited about it. It looks pretty good to me. Let's see here. What do we got going? Anyways. Thoughts on Zlatan. I already shared some thoughts on that. Do a review on the Adidas Glitch. I did a review back when it first came out. I'm currently working on getting some of the newer Glitch stuff in to do some videos on because they have made some changes. So stay tuned for that on the channel. It should be coming relatively soon. What happened to the prototypes you were testing? That's from Jesse Diaz. There will be an update on that this year. I can't say exactly when, but there definitely will be an update. Is that the Kim Jones Superfly behind you? Yes, it is. Let me get it. This is it. I didn't make a video on these yet. It probably will happen, but this is it. They look really good in person. This is probably one of the most detailed limited edition shoes that I think I have in my collection. It's really, really nice looking. It's actually a bit of a shame that they were limited and only got worn by Cristiano Ronaldo for one game because this is probably, in my opinion, the nicest of the orange Mercurials, which we've had a lot of so far of this new generation. I think they're really cool. Denise or Dennison, is that it? Yeah, Dennison Christensen. Do you have a favorite football? Um, like of all time, visually, I really like the Euro 2004 ball. I think that was such a cool looking ball. Right now, to actually use, I like the Ortums. The Nike Ortum 5 is really good. And I like the Adidas Champions League ball as well. Both of those current match balls. In my opinion, those are like the best two on the market right now. At least the ones that I really like to use. What's your favorite CR7 colorway? I know people have mixed opinions on this new chapter. Yeah, chapter 6 now. I really think the chapter 6 looks good in person. If we're talking about the general release, like in the chapter series, although I think my favorite of all time has to be his original, the Safari Print Superfly 2, the white and black with the orange swoosh. I always really like that colorway. Let's see here. Favorite MLS team? That's TFC. I already answered that one, but I'll answer it again. Josh, have you ever had a bad interaction with a fan? That's asked by Connor Cleland, I think. In person, no, never. I mean, obviously it's the internet, so you're gonna have people say some mean things to you online. Doesn't really bother me, but in person, no. Everyone's been really, really nice that I've met. So, I mean, I hope that continues, but I guess we'll see what happens. Favorite NHL team? Detroit. Best brand for authentic football shirts. That's asked by Daniel R. Anderson. I have not really tried the latest round of authentic stuff because they basically just changed up for the World Cup. The Nike stuff looks like it's a little bit different, and so does the Adidas stuff. Puma, I haven't tried their latest jerseys either, at least the authentic ones. But I actually do plan on making some videos on hopefully all the World Cup jerseys. We'll see what happens on that. I still have something being worked out, but yeah, expect some videos on that and some opinions. I guess more solid opinions very soon on the channel. What do you think about the Hypervenom Phantom 3? I think it's very good. Really good. Probably one of the best takedown models. If you want a synthetic takedown model at $80, that's pretty much your best bet. Okay, where? Sorry, I saw a question and then it left and then I can't find it anymore. Are you going to the World Cup? As of right now, no. Hopefully I get an invite from one of the big brands. That would be awesome. I mean, I'd love to go at least watch one match in the World Cup. That's kind of a once in a lifetime experience, I'd say. But I'm in Canada, that's in Russia, so whoa, I just saw a good question. And did you already went to Europe? Yes, I've been to Europe a few times, never to Russia. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I'm trying to find a question that I haven't answered yet. Flyknit or mesh upper? I mean, I'm not sure that anything really has a mesh upper right now that's high end. Everything's pretty much Flyknit. I guess the Hypervenom Phantom 1 and then the version 2 of the Hypervenom Phantom 2, those were mesh based uppers. I guess technically the Nemesis is a mesh based upper, but as a whole, I think what we've seen with knitted uppers versus mesh uppers, the knitted uppers are a lot more, I guess, complex. There's more structure to them, and they in general, I would say, feel more premium. What's a way to break in the heel part that usually gives you blisters on the Hypervenom 3 low? Uh, it's not really that common to get blisters on the Hypervenom Phantom 3 low. Just breaking them in, tips for breaking in the shoes, wear them around your house. Don't necessarily start kicking the ball around and running in your house while wearing them, but just wear them around the house so you can get used to how they feel on your feet. Wear socks that cover the back of your heel where you are getting blisters. Make sure you wear good quality socks. Make sure they're tied up properly. And just the first couple times that you wear them, take it easy. Don't immediately try sprinting or taking a whole bunch of free kicks. Just really slow. If you start to feel uncomfortable, take them off and just repeat that process until you feel like you can wear them for a full 2-hour session. What is your favorite takedown model ever? That's from Cameron Cross. I mean, the first takedown, that would have been the Veloce 2 of the Vapor 10. That was a really good takedown. Obviously, the new Vapor 12 Pros, I think, are really good. The takedown in the current Tiempo series, which is now, it was the Legacy 3, now it's Tiempo Legend 7 Pro. That's a really solid takedown as well. Those are the couple that come to mind as being particularly good. Do you also wear A to Z perfume? No. I just have a shirt. This is actually, I should have mentioned that earlier when I was talking about him. This is a Zlatan Ibrahimovic shirt. This is from his clothing line, which honestly, it's just a regular black long sleeve tee with A to Z on the front. There's honestly nothing that spectacular about it. I'm a Zlatan fan, so I got one. Should Nike have upgrade? Whoa, sorry. Should have Nike upgraded to the new Vapors. I'm not sure what you mean there. Did you get Easter eggs? I got a bag of those mini eggs, but I really try not to eat them. Favorite app? I guess Instagram. Out of any app, I probably spend the most time on Instagram. Well, where are we at? What do you think about the Hypervenom Phantom 1? I really do think they were good. I think it was a pretty, I don't want to say revolutionary, but it was an important shoe in terms of how soccer cleats would progress from that point, especially for Nike. I think it kind of showed that a mesh-based upper could feel really good, be really premium, and just offer, I guess, a sensation that before that we were only really thinking you could do synthetics or high-end leather, and that was it. So that was something very different. It's kind of going away now since knitted uppers have become so popular. And that's not to say the Phantom 1 wasn't flawed, because it did overstretch, kind of sloppy, not super, super durable either. But I think the technology that it introduced, the concept of a mesh base rather than synthetic or leather, that was probably the biggest part or the biggest contribution to the soccer cleat world that the Phantom 1 had. Do you play PUBG or Fortnite? That's a very popular question. No, I've never played either of those two games, which maybe that's weird, but I just don't have a lot of time for video games. Pure Control or Pure Chaos? I prefer the Pure Chaos, 100%. Do you think Nike will supply the World Cup ball? That was from Chris Duarte. No, I'm not sure what the current contract situation is between FIFA and Adidas, but that is basically how Adidas always ends up with the World Cup ball since 1970. That was the first time they did it. It's a pre-agreed upon basically deal. It's the same reason why the Premier League match ball is provided by Nike and the Champions League match ball is provided by Adidas. These are all deals that are worked out beforehand, paid to FIFA to be the official match ball supplier. So unless that deal between them and Adidas is coming up and Nike's willing to offer a ton more money, I don't see that changing anytime soon. There's a lot of money in the World Cup ball, so I expect Adidas to probably maintain that contract for as long as possible. Let's see, we're going 23 minutes, but we got lots of questions here. Lots of people are still here. Appreciate you guys asking these questions. Are you good at FIFA? I am 6.5 out of 10, let's say. Maybe that's generous. I don't know. No. I can't be good if I don't play enough. I don't play that much, so how can I be good? Best Telstar model? The top one. The top Telstar is the best one. Let's see. When will the Oprah 3s come out? That's a good question by Perry Papas. I don't know. I would expect them kind of to come out before the World Cup, but I've heard that they're going to be after the World Cup, if it's even going to be called. Obviously, there's lots of names floating around, guys. A lot of you guys send me stuff like leaked information as if I don't see any of it myself. I see all the leaked information. I just don't talk about the leaked information to the extent that I think some people would like, but I do have an established relationship with a lot of these brands, so I can't just go talking about stuff that's technically secret information. So I would expect it to come out hopefully before the World Cup. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of players wear blacked out variations of what looks to be the next Magista Oprah, but I don't know exactly when. Nobody really does at this point exactly when they're going to be coming out. It does look like a major change, though. What's the idea behind Mbappe's new Superflies? That's from Ronan Murphy. It's just an off-white collaboration. They add some dots to the upper and people go crazy. Whoa. What do you think about ACC goalkeeper gloves and ACC Nike balls? If you guys, again, follow me on Instagram, when that was all unveiled initially, I made some posts about it and shared some opinions. But the gloves, I mean, honestly, I don't think that there's anything about those gloves that are going to be that revolutionary. I did play goalkeeper when I was younger, and the one thing that kind of jumped out at me is because there are no straps, once you pull those on, I'd be really concerned about them kind of sliding up and then constantly having to pull them down just so they're in place properly, where a strap obviously would hold it a lot better. And as far as the ball is concerned, again, everything has to go through that FIFA approval system, so it can't be anything that drastically different than what we have right now. Otherwise, you would think that it wouldn't get approved. Now, of course, I just made that video saying that I think the whole FIFA approved thing is just a big scam. It's a money grab for FIFA, but we'll see what happens. I'm curious to try it out, but I wouldn't necessarily expect anything that much different than what we already have. Would you ever do a video on strength training? It's definitely a possibility. The problem right now is there's just so much new product. I'm trying to focus on that because obviously people come to my channel to see the latest products and reviews and opinions. So I spend the majority of my time working on getting it all in and then obviously testing it and sharing those opinions with you on this YouTube channel, Instagram, all my social media. So if there's a time that slows down where I have some time to do that kind of thing for you guys, definitely a possibility. Shooting tutorials is something that you guys have requested a lot as well, but we'll see what happens. I can't make any promises, but I can't rule it out either. RT Benitez, best goal you have ever scored? Probably, there's only really one goal that I remember that was particularly good. And it was, I want to say I was 16 years old. I just crossed the halfway line. And honestly, it was a game where I was making runs after run after run, and I kept getting called offside. Whether or not I was offside, that I don't really remember. I probably was most of the time. But I was pretty tired, and the one run I actually got through, and instead of going all the way through, it would have been almost a clean breakaway from the halfway line. I kind of cut it back and just shot the ball as hard as I could, pretty blindly actually. And then I remember just looking up, and I hit the ball pretty much perfectly. It was a really, really powerful strike. Looking up, and it was exactly in the upper 90 from it would have been 45, 50 yards out. It was really far out, and I was surprised that it went in the net, honestly. I didn't even celebrate because I was kind of stunned, but that's probably the best goal that I remember scoring. That's such a stupid story. Why would I even tell that? Let's see here. Not even going to try to say your name. Can you do a knuckleball? Yeah, I can. It's just not something that I practice because I don't think it's a very viable technique. I realize that the whole knuckleball free kick thing is something that's very much a fascination of the younger generation of players growing up. But for me, driving the ball, or especially curling the ball, in my opinion at least, is the most effective way of scoring free kicks. Messi obviously being kind of a bad example because he is Messi. There's nobody else like him. But look at the free kicks that he's been scoring so consistently. It's kind of a more curling style free kick just because I think you can be way more accurate at a much higher percentage versus a knuckleball. Knuckleball's cool. It looks awesome when it works, but getting it to actually work, it's just a very inconsistent technique in my opinion. So for that reason, I don't really practice it. And in general, I make the playtest videos. I do some free kicks in there, but when I'm actually just playing and practicing, I don't really practice free kicks that much. Tony Kurek, Where to go? Are you going to do outlet videos? Yes. The only reason why there haven't been any for a while is not because I haven't been going, but because I haven't been finding anything. So as soon as I can find something, the outlets have been pretty dried up lately. I definitely will make more outlet videos. I really like doing that series, so it's actually a bit of a shame that I haven't found anything. But I don't like making videos on stuff that's not actually that interesting if I don't find anything that good. Did the Off-White Vapors drop? Yeah, man, earlier today. You're late. you might have missed it by now. How much for the Off-White Tiempos? I think I said in the video, no? I think it was like 35K. How many boots do you have? I made a collection video. I don't know when that was, but it was a while ago now. Probably 6 or 7 months ago. Maybe even a bit longer. It was before I moved. But at that point, I kind of estimated around 700 to 750, I want to say. Now, it'd probably be closer to 1,000 if I had to guess. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely think it's up there. Reptar, $1.99 donation. Hey, man, appreciate it. Can you add me on PSN, on PS4? He put his name. Yeah, man, I'll try my best to add you after this is done. Appreciate the donation. How many string bags do you have? A lot. If 600, that's a rough guess. Do you have AirPods? Are those? I'm assuming those are the Apple headphone wireless things. No, if that's what that is. I'm not sure. Do you like the Air Presto? Question from Dick Butt. Nice name. Do you like the Air Presto? Yeah. Let's see. Will we ever see a high top Tiempo legend? That's a good question. I wouldn't rule it out just because of the insane popularity of mid-cut shoes right now. But here's the thing about the Tiempo and leather shoes in general. I feel like, and I would think Nike is aware of this as well, that the majority of people who are into that kind of shoe probably want it to be low cut rather than mid. So again, I wouldn't rule it out as a possibility, but at the same time, I think if they're going to continue on with the Tiempo line and have a flagship leather shoe within their main lines, they'll probably keep it low cut rather than go mid. But that's my guess. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Let's see. What is your favorite type of cleats and why do you like them? Leather, I generally tend to prefer leather cleats, but honestly, the more and more that I test out all these different products, I can't say that I'm overly picky. The big thing for me is having a comfortable feel and the shoes fitting me properly. If they don't fit me well, if I feel like there's extra space or just extra bulk because of the way that the shoes fit, I'm generally not going to like them as much. But if I'm picking like a shoe or a type of shoe that I would kind of be more drawn to, I really like leather shoes simply because they can be more comfortable, and I do generally prefer a softer, more padded touch on the ball. But again, I'm just as happy to wear a super thin Under Armour Magnetico Pro. Obviously completely different than what I just described, but I think it fits well, it's comfortable, so I really enjoy wearing stuff like that as well. Let's see. Are you going to the Seidman Fc versus YouTube All-Stars game in June? No. Not even really sure what that is. Have you played Fortnite again? No, I've actually not played Fortnite. I might be the only one in the world. Some players still don't wear the new Vapor. Should Nike just have stayed with the old style, or do you think the upgrade of the Vapor was good? I mean, a few players is not necessarily a good... Just because a few guys aren't wearing them does not necessarily mean that they've made a huge mistake with the new Vapors. I think as a whole, the new Mercurials actually are quite good. We're seeing more guys who were wearing the Vapor 11 rather than the Superfly 5, sticking with the old ones because, yes, the new Vapor 12 is a lot different than the previous Vapor 11. However, do I think that these guys will stay in those old shoes forever? Probably not. Some guys are just a little bit slower to transition just because they like a specific thing, and we are kind of, 3/4 of the way, if not all the way through the season at this point. So a lot of guys don't want to change while they're still playing games. It just takes them longer to get used to something. So by the time the World Cup comes, I expect that most guys wearing Nike or being Nike endorsed athletes who are in the Mercurial line will probably be in the new Vapors, but I guess only time will tell. I don't think they made a mistake. I actually prefer what they've done with the new Vapor 12 versus the Vapor 11, but again, everyone's going to have their own opinions and preferences there. Whoa. Who, in your opinion, is the best player ever? I don't like answering these questions, but I mean, obviously, Pele and Maradona are two players that a lot of people like to talk about as the best of all time. I can't say that I've spent any significant time watching those guys just because they are way before my time. Obviously, I grew up watching guys like Messi and Ronaldo, so I mean, given that those guys are setting records in literally every single category, I think you can make an argument for either of them as the best of all time. Who that will be by the time their careers are over, and where they'll be by the time their careers are over, it's really difficult to say. Obviously, question marks unless Messi doesn't. If Messi wins this upcoming World Cup, I think it's going to be an easier argument to say he might be the best of all time. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't have a strong opinion on that particular topic, so I'm not even sure why I tried to answer. What happened with Joma Champion, Charlie Harwood? Maybe I should make an update. I did make an update video on that, basically, where Nike found out about the Joma Champion Max from the video that I made. And from that particular point, I saw that a lot of stores that were carrying the Joma Champion Max basically had them removed. So I think that they pretty much just pulled them off. I'm not sure if there was a threatened lawsuit or if there is something currently in the works. Usually those things don't really see any kind of public attention until they're further along. So hard to say what's happening with that situation, but I don't think that Joma is selling the Champion Max anymore. So if you got a pair, consider yourself lucky. Let's see. Nope, still at 199. Guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, it's SR4U_Josh. It's the first link down below. Go check it out. How much should a high-end boot cost? I like this question because a lot of people think that high-end soccer cleats are too expensive. And really, they haven't been more expensive. They're not more expensive now than they have been in the past. The price of everything has gone up over the last 15 years, not just soccer cleats, but we've had $300 soccer cleats for a long time now. And we're actually seeing in this cycle of Nike products and even the Adidas stuff that they are reducing the prices. There were $300 models within each line from Nike and Adidas at one point. Now we don't have that anymore. The only $300 shoe is the Predator 18 Plus. Everything else is cheaper than that. Whether or not you think a soccer cleat can be worth up to $300, whether or not you're willing to pay that amount of money, that's going to vary from person to person. But given that you can get almost any of these high-end cleats, as long as you're not too picky about colorways or having the latest model, you can get them for like $150, sometimes even less than that. And at that point, I think it's hard to not go for something, especially if you're playing a lot. I think it's worth the investment, but again, how much they should cost and how much you're willing to pay are two very, very different things. Please answer, old Predator or Predator 18 Plus? I am very much partial, as are a lot of longtime Predator fans, towards the old Preds rather than the new ones, but I think what they're doing with the new ones makes sense based on what's popular right now. So I can't necessarily fault Adidas for what they've done to the Predator line that is more or less just the Ace line with the Predator name now. Michael Kennedy, I think that's pounds, £1 donation. Thank you very much. Guys, if you're going to make donations to ask a question, actually ask a question when you make a donation is what I mean. Don't just donate and not say anything. Say hi, ask a question. I'll answer it for you guys if you really want your question answered. But I definitely appreciate any of you guys who donate. That means a lot. Opinion on the Nike Premier 2.0. I liked them less when they first came out. I like them more now. I really like the look of the shoe. In my opinion, I really like the look of old school stuff. To me, the Premier 2 right now is one of the best looking boots on the market, even though obviously it's very, very old school. Did you go to university? I saw. One semester, human kinetics. Didn't go back. Oh no. Jasper Lloyd Hughes. 79. Oh, it's a pound symbol, but it's 79 cents. I don't know if it's called cents there. I think it's called, what's it called there? Appreciate the donation, by the way, but it's called something else there. I can't think of what it is. So I'm just going to say 79 cents. Professional video reviewer. Opinion on the Kobe 360. I did see those. They look interesting. It does. I saw that it has the React foam, like the new Epic React running shoe. So I'd be curious to try them out. I mean, I don't know if that's something I'm going to go and buy right away. I heard they're really expensive. I'm not sure exactly how much they cost, but I think they look cool. That's really the only thing that I've got an opinion on is just the way they look. Let's see. Pence. That's what it is. It's pence. I knew it wasn't cents. It was something different. What is the latest boot similar to the Puma Evo Touch? Let me think. The most similar kind of leather is what you'd find right now on the Puma 1 18.1 leather. The front of that shoe is pretty much identical to what the leather we had on the Evo Touch, but the shoe as a whole is significantly stiffer and more structured than that shoe was. Nothing I would say is like super thin leather across the entire foot like those. But if you really want the Evo Touch, they're still on sale in most colorways with most sizes available. So I would recommend just buying a couple pairs while they're still available if you really want that shoe. Because I wouldn't say anything in particular is quite like those. Let's see what else we got. You look so uncomfortable in the thumbnail. Thanks, man. Let's see. Play basketball. You wouldn't want to see that. It's not pretty. How's your day going? Pretty good. I pulled my hamstring the other day. If you guys want to hear that story, but I was actually in the process of making a video that didn't end up happening because I pulled my hamstring, but that video will eventually happen once I recover from this. Do you speak French? Sort of. Let's see here. Are the Adidas Nemesis 17.2 worth it? Not if you're paying anywhere near the retail price. Laced or laceless? You're trolling me. If you watch this channel, you know my opinion on that. Do you think Pogba is overrated? I think the guy's legitimately very good. Whether or not he's overrated, that's... I don't know. I don't think so. But the thing is, there's a difference between being skilled and being effective while using that skill. And sometimes I think you question the effectiveness of a guy like Pogba or even a guy like Neymar. He messes around with the ball a lot. There are going to be giveaways because of that. And he slows the pace of the game down quite a bit, which is not necessarily always for the better of his team. So, I don't know. You could make the argument, I think, but I'm not sure that overall that he's an overrated player. What's your favorite color? I don't know. I don't think I have one. Let's see here. Did you get the Off-White Vapors? Yes, I did manage to get a pair. Not sure when I'm going to have them in my hands, but I definitely did manage to get a pair. What did you eat for breakfast? Eggs. Oh, this Q&A is working out great so far. We're going to go 5 more minutes and then I'm going to call it. So get your questions in now because it'll be over relatively soon. Let's see. Favorite elbow crack. For those that ask why my elbow cracks, I legitimately do not know. It doesn't hurt. I have no problems with my elbows, but when I make a video and I hold my arm, like if you watch, I'm always using my hands. I can't talk without my hands in the videos. I don't know why. But my arm, one arm will always kind of be up, whether I'm holding a shoe or just up like this because I'm talking. And then as soon as I straighten it, it'll crack sometimes. I don't know why. It's completely random. It catches me by surprise every time it happens because I don't feel anything. It's just when I straighten it out, it cracks sometimes. So I figured I'd put it in the video. It's kind of funny, and you guys really seem to enjoy it, I think. How old are you? 25. Predator playtest. That is coming. I'm working on it. If you guys do want to see a Predator playtest, would you rather see the Plus or the 18.1 or maybe both in the same video? Let me know about that. Whoa. Jasper Lloyd Hughes, £1.99 donation. Thank you very much. Do you get a sneak peek at upcoming boots colorways? I can't say that I haven't in the past, but it's rare. Very, very rarely do brands want anybody to see, like, officially from the brand what's coming before it actually comes. So yes, I have had sneak peeks at certain things, but in general, they kind of keep things as secret as possible. Unless you're a retailer, of course. If you're a retailer, obviously you have to know about releases before they actually happen. Typically, you're going to have those new products before they're actually available. I'm not a store, so generally they don't give me that kind of inside access. But yeah, in the past, there have been certain situations from certain brands. I'm not going to talk about who or what specific shoes, but I have had access not only just to see certain stuff, but actually to try certain stuff before the actual release, just so I could have an opinion and reviews to go up on the day of. Just it depends on how much they're motivated and how confident they are in their product in terms of marketing it and getting as much hype out there as possible. Let's see. Favorite TFC player? I mean, it's got to be Giovinco. Daniel R. Anderson, $1.99 donation. Thank you very much. Where's your question? Ran away. Best Adidas models at each tier. My favorite top one, I guess if we're picking top of the plus, so if we go plus 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, plus would definitely be the Pure Speed. I really like that shoe. 0.1 would probably be the Predator 18.1. I really like those. At 0.2, this is where things get more difficult because I don't think that any of the 0.2 models are necessarily worth it at their full retail prices. If I had to pick one, I guess it would be the Predator 18.2. And then at the 0.3 prices, I guess maybe the Copa 18.3. Although, again, I don't think it's the best value at its respective price point. So 0.1 and 0.2, very solid options. 0.2 and 3, I don't know. I'm realizing I'm making very strange faces as I answer these questions, and I don't know. I guess I just do that. How are big brands contacting you? Typically email, like everything else these days. Do you play FIFA 18? Not for a very long time. Like probably 4 or 5 months. It's been a while. Not many video games. Do you like pizza? Love it. Big fan. Vapor 11 or Vapor 12? I prefer the Vapor 12. I mean, I've made several videos on that. $1 donation. Thank you very much from Eve Marisa? I acknowledged you. That's as good as a pronunciation you're going to get of that name. What is the most stupid question someone has asked in this Q&A? I don't know. You get a lot of dumb questions on the internet in general. Whoever said there's no such thing as a dumb question, they've never been on YouTube. Reptar, $1.99 donation. Thank you very much. Will you ever do a Draw My Life and a Walmart Boots playtest? The Walmart Boots playtest was planned for this last week until I hurt myself, so that is coming. Stay tuned for that. I'm actually pretty excited about that one. And the Draw My Life thing, I'm not sure. I mean, there's certain things of my life that I kind of like to keep private for the most part, but I'm not going to say it's not something I would ever do. Is the Copa Mundial good? Yes, of course it's good. It's been around for this long. It wouldn't be around if it wasn't good. What happened between the cleats you and Storelli were making about 3 years ago? And what was the project? You're way off, dude. Way off. Good guess, though. Let's see. Did you see Zlatan's goal? A lot of people are commenting that. I didn't get to watch that game. I was not home. I don't even know if he scored. Some people might be trolling me. I would check on my phone, but I'm live streaming right now, so I'm not going to. But still at 199K on Instagram. Go follow it. It's the first link down below. Texas Techers, do you like, I'm assuming he's referring to Big Baller brand. Uh, I think what they're doing is interesting. Have I bought anything? No. Do I think that the sneakers are a little bit overpriced considering what they are? Yes, absolutely. They're way too expensive actually, but I mean, I have to respect what they're doing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the two younger brothers though. The middle one just went in. He just entered the NBA draft, so we'll see if anyone picks him up. I doubt it. Subscriber goal. Honestly, I'm not. I'm not like subscriber hungry. As I just asked to go for you guys to go follow me on Instagram, I say that. But nah, honestly, whatever it works out to, it works out to. It's not something that I'm like really focused on. I make the reviews because I try to help people, and if people like it and subscribe because of that, hey, that's awesome. Thoughts on Neymar coming back to Barsa? I made a whole video on that. Some people really strongly disagreed with me. Some people really did strongly agree with me. I don't think he's coming back to Barsa. I don't see it happening. If he is leaving PSG, it's probably going to go to Real Madrid if they're willing to pay whatever crazy amount of money it's going to cost. But can't say I'm a huge fan of Neymar's current, I guess, sequences of decision making. It's been questionable. Are you getting the Off-White Vapors in for review? I've answered this probably 4 times, but yes, I did actually manage to get a pair today, so hopefully I should have them relatively soon. Let's see. Do you have a hidden talent? I don't know. I don't know what a hidden talent. Play hockey. I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at hockey. What else do I do? No, that's probably... Can't say that I have a hidden talent. I can play the shoehorn if you guys saw my most recent video. That's something that I guess is a hidden talent. Let's see. Will you ever come to the Nike World Headquarters here in Oregon? I've actually been there before in 2000. I want to say it was 2013. Whatever year. Wait, is that right? Yeah, it was probably 2013 when they launched the Maestri 3, CTR 360 Maestri 3. There was an event at the World Headquarters. So I was there then. That's, what, almost 5 years ago now? So it was a while ago. But yeah, I have actually been there. Really, really cool place to go. If you ever have a chance to go to any World Headquarters of a major sports brand, it's generally a pretty cool thing. What is your favorite turf shoe? Some people might hate this opinion, but I really like the Adidas Mundial team, the turf version of the Copa. That's definitely my go-to turf shoe right now, and it has been for pretty much forever. Favorite boot that's not popular? I guess Puma Futures counts as popular now. I've actually seen quite a few people wearing them, but Under Armour, the Under Armour Magnetico Pro comes to mind. Pretty much anything Mizuno comes to mind. Those are the two that pop in my head. Anything Mizuno branded, and then the Under Armour boot. Favorite blackout color? That's funny. The all black ones, those are my favorite. Boot you're most excited for? I'm really curious to see I guess two. I'm these blacked out next generation X's that we see a lot of pros wearing look really, really interesting to me. And then whatever that next generation Magista is going to be with the lace cover, that's something we haven't seen from Nike, since first came out the Vapor 4, Vapor 5 had it, Vapor 6 had it, they got rid of it Vapor 7. So not since the Vapor 6 have we seen a Nike shoe with a lace cover, and this is drastically different than those lace cover Mercurials. So we'll see what happens. I think they look interesting. How do you see ACC nonstop grip, and especially with the pull on ACC gloves and ball coming out? Do you think that they're all gimmicks or have a big impact? I think that they're fairly gimmicky, honestly. But gimmicky in the sense that I don't think that they're as effective as people would like them, would be led to believe, or at least some people. It's funny that Nike and Adidas themselves, I feel like they don't really put that much in the way of marketing attention towards ACC or nonstop grip anymore, like they did when they were new technologies. But people really seem to think that it's a super, super important thing, and it's going to have a huge impact on performance, when I think the reality is that it just doesn't make for that big of a difference. We'll see with the ball and the gloves. That's new product. But when you're talking about the boots themselves, honestly, when I go and wear something outside of Nike and Adidas that doesn't have those wet control technologies, it's not something that I feel like I'm missing by any means at all. So again, everyone's going to believe what they want to believe. I just don't think that it's doing all that much. You a fan of Toronto FC? Yes. Let's see. Try not to freeze on screen here. Where are we? Lots of questions about Ibrahimovic today. Did not get to see the game, guys. Sorry. 2015 F50 Addy Zeros. Are they any good? Yes. I think they're really good, actually. Coke or Pepsi? Coke. Used to be Pepsi. Change that. That was probably like 3 years ago I made that switch. Jump ship. Favorite jersey you own? That's a good question. Got some hanging up around me. I guess I'm going to go with the first one that I own that let me grab it for you since it's right here. I've had this jersey, this Zlatan jersey right here since I was really, really young. I got it at like a soccer tournament, and I want to say this is like the first real jersey I ever had. Zlatan number 5, Real Madrid. I probably got this when I was like, I want to say probably 10 or 11 years old, and they bought it. My parents bought it for me. What is this? This is an extra large. Is it really? Anyways, whatever it is, it still fits me, and I've had it since I was a kid. So this is probably my favorite jersey of all time, mainly because I've had it for pretty much forever. I am not going to try and put that back, so I'll put that down. I'll hang it up later, but that would be my favorite jersey. Let's see. Adidas or Nike takedown models? Right now, I think Nike's just making better takedown models. Let's see. Some weird questions some of you guys ask. Let's see. That's how your room gets dirty. That's funny. Because you know what? I probably won't put that back up after this is done. It might just stay on the ground. You know what? I promise I will put it back. I guarantee it. Drake or Migos? Drake. What's up? What's up, man? Favorite cereal? Oh, that's a good question. Because I really do like cereal, but I try not to eat it because there's really nothing good for you about cereal. But I'd probably go for Fruit Loops, honestly. That'd probably be my pick. We need to see you put it up. No, I'm not doing it. I can't reach, actually. I know I said 5 minutes, but I'm kind of enjoying myself, and you guys seem to be... I hope you're enjoying yourself. Elbow crack. Can't do it on demand, man. Wish I could. Wish I could. Let's see. Do a review on the Predator Malice Control. I think that's the rugby version of the Predator. A lot of people have requested me to do a review on that. I've reviewed some of the rugby Adidas stuff in the past, like a very long time ago, like 3 or 4 years. But I'll try to actually get some of that in because I think it is kind of interesting because there's really no reason why you can't use those firm ground rugby cleats for soccer or football. I know it's a touchy subject. Sondico, is it Sondico? I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but I did a review on 1 or 2 of their shoes in the past, just nothing recent. That's not really available. I think that's only in the UK. It might be throughout Europe as well. I'm not sure, but they don't really have that around here, so getting access to it for review is not quite so easy. Favorite sneaker? I like that question. That's from Grains. I'm just going to say Grains. Favorite sneaker probably that I own the most of would be like Air Max 1s. I really like Air Max 1s. I like Jordan 1s a lot. I'm a fan of the Adidas NMDs. I think those are really cool. I'm currently very into the Vapor Max. I don't know why. I didn't think it was that cool when it first came out, but I really like them now. I'm pretty varied. If you guys follow me on Instagram, it's SR4U_Josh. It's the first link in the description of this video. I generally post what sneakers I wear on a daily basis in my Instagram story. So if you have any general interest in sneakers at all and you want to see what I wear and what I like, that is the place to go and follow because I post all of that there. Rakitic or Modric? I'm Modric for me. That guy is pretty incredible. Not to say that Rakitic is not good. Josh, I thought it was John. I love how confused some people get when I just write John instead of Josh. That's, to me, is one of the funniest things. Gavin Moore, are you good at goalkeeper? You know what? I'd like to think that I'm a decent shot stopper. I'm not sure that in terms of like actually playing in a game and making good decisions and coming out to like get the ball in a corner kick cross situation, I probably would. I'm not really good at that, but actually physically stopping shots, I feel like I'm decent. I just would rather not play goalkeeper. What's your favorite? No, it's gone. Suarez or Benzema? Suarez for me. Okay, this is just turning into this player or that player type thing. Yeezys or Jordans? Okay, might as well just continue on. For me, Jordans. I don't know. The Yeezy thing is new, obviously very, very popular right now, but Jordans to me, they've just been around for so long. I don't mind wearing the latest sneakers, but I kind of really like the old stuff that they continue to remake. To me, there's something more special about that. But I do have a pair of Yeezys. I've still yet to wear them, but I do have a pair. It says KSI or Logan Paul. I'm aware of who KSI is. Logan Paul, I'm aware of who that is. Preference? I can't say I have a preference. Can't say that I watch either of them. Should I get the black or orange Mercurial Vapor 12? I much prefer the black ones, but the orange ones don't look bad. I guess it depends on whether or not you want something flashy. Can you do a meetup? I'm working on something like that, so stay tuned to the channel. Obviously, it's only going to be in a certain location, so not everyone will be able to attend, but I'm working on something. Do you have old Bessie cleats for sale? No, sorry. My height. A lot of people ask me how tall I am. I don't know. Do I look deceptively tall or short on camera? I'm 5'11", so not short, not particularly tall. Will you do more reviews on running-based products? I love the last one on the React. Yes, there are more coming. Nike Free Flyknits I have. The new Adidas Alpha Bounce Beyond I have. I actually just got the new Vapor Max 2. That's not really much of a running shoe, I would say, but there definitely will be more reviews on some running products just because I'm into that thing. That kind of thing. How did you get that A to Z shirt? I purchased it. Do you have the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10? Yes, I do have a pair. No, they are not for sale, if that's your next question. Puma Future or X17 Plus? I really do like them both, but I lean more towards the X just because I like that upper. It's a little bit softer, but the Future is an awesome shoe as well. Although, yeah, never mind. Okay, do you think Mohamed Salah is one of the best players in the world currently? Currently, yes, you can make that argument for him. But as with a lot of professional players in pretty much every sport, you're going to have guys that have really epic seasons. And then whether or not they continue on that epic path is something that we have to see. But we live in the age of social media and everybody gets exposed to highlights so frequently that automatically people just like, you go from zero to hero in 10 seconds and automatically you're like being compared to Messi and Ronaldo. Yes, Sallah is very, very good. Obviously, in terms of skill, he's on the same level as those two players. But should we be comparing him to two of arguably the greatest of all time that are setting records in every single category? I think it's a little bit early for that. But yeah, I mean, I hope the guy does well. I mean, I'm sure he's going to continue to be good, but One season is one season. Hypervenom 3 or Vapor 12? Hypervenom 3 low or Vapor 12? You know what? I kind of actually probably would go for the Vapors just because I really like the way that they fit and I love that stud pattern. Jonathan Meja? I'm not sure how to say it. $1.99 donation. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Who do you think will be in the final of the World Cup? I touched on this earlier. At this point, I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to think that Argentina. If I'm going to pick one team, Argentina. I mean, I'm not sure how it's set up, how it could even work, because I'm not super familiar with the groups off the top of my head. But I'd like to say Argentina 1. I mean, Argentina-Portugal would be pretty amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, you have to kind of think Germany's going to be pretty solid, so maybe Argentina-Germany. But Brazil would have a fighting chance as well. It's really, really tough to say. But I guess a safe bet would be maybe Argentina-Germany, if that's even possible based on how everything's set up right now, because I don't really know. When are you streaming FIFA again? Not sure if I will. I mean, I'd like to, but again, just finding the time to do that kind of thing is hard for me. And honestly, playing video games is something that I don't know why, but when I got to like 23 years old, something clicked inside of me where it's like when I start playing video games, I feel like I'm wasting my life. Like I just don't feel like I'm accomplishing things anymore. There was a time when I was just so competitive that yes, I was playing video games and I wanted to be the best and like practiced at it. But then again, I just come to a point in my life where I realize I'm not going to be a pro gamer. That's just not going to happen at this point. So playing video games to try and be as competitive as possible and just kind of failing, I don't know. Something about video games just doesn't appeal to me as much as it once did. So, Jimmy Hasselbeck, thank you very much for the $1.99 donation. Appreciate it very much. Your opinion on streetwear apparel, Supreme, etc. I'm not into that, honestly. Anything that's like super expensive luxury items as far as like sneakers and apparel is concerned, if I can't get the item for retail price, I'm not super into it. Like I really, the whole Supreme thing, like I don't understand paying $100 or $200 for a t-shirt that just says Supreme in a little rectangle in the middle of your shirt. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's kind of cool, but to pay that much for it, it's just not something that I'm into. Even the whole off-white kind of sneaker hype that's up right now, and obviously Nike capitalized on this with the Vapor that released today. Yes, it's cool, but am I going out there and like seeking resale prices to get them because I just want them that badly? No, I don't want them that bad. For me, simple Adidas, simple Nike, Puma gear even, like I'm pretty happy with that kind of stuff. I don't feel the need to spend $300 on a sweater as an example. Let's see. Best manager in football. I don't know. It's a good question. I think Guardiola is pretty impressive what he's been able to do wherever he's gone. I think it's really hard to judge managers in general just from watching because there's so much more to it besides just what the manager decides to do, and ultimately the players have to go out there and play. You don't see all the behind the scenes stuff, so it's difficult to say how big of an impact or how little of an impact I guess the manager is making from club to club. Like some teams historically that we see now, they have all the players that you could possibly want, but they can't get it to work, whether that's the manager's fault or down to the players. To me, it's really, really difficult to put the blame on one specific guy when you have all those types of players with that much talent. Have you seen the movie Goal? The Dream Begins? Yeah. Who hasn't seen that? It's been a while. It's probably been like 10 years since I've seen it, but I did see it. Make a video on what are the best soft ground studs to buy. A lot of people ask me, like, what's the best AG shoe or what's the best soft ground shoe? You buy those shoes, you buy a soft ground shoe because of the soft ground stud pattern. That's the part that makes it a soft ground shoe. Everything else is still like picking out a firm ground shoe as an example. You have to go for a certain type of fit, a certain type of feel. Obviously, there's going to be variation besides just the stud pattern. They make the Mercurial Superfly as an example in firm ground, soft ground, or AG. They're pretty much all the same shoe. It's just a matter of whether or not you are playing on whatever surface you need them for. So it's not really a matter of like the best soft ground shoe. The best soft ground shoe is the same as the best firm ground shoes or the best AG shoes. It's just a stud pattern that changes, not the physical shoe itself. Let's see where we are here. Let's see where we are on Instagram. If we hit 200K. Nope. Not yet. You guys are letting me down. Are you better than Ronaldo? No. Do you get recognized in real life a lot? If I go to a soccer field where there's a lot of people on my own, which I try not to do that often, yes, I'll get recognized 50% of the time, let's say. But it's not super frequent, I would say. Do you play COD? But I have the new one, played it like 3 times for like 20 minutes at a time. So I've got like an hour's worth of experience. I played a lot, like Modern Warfare 2, COD 4. I learned to play the game on, what was the 5th one? World at War? I think that was the 5th one. That's when I learned to play. Like when I was in high school, like early years of high school, really played a lot of COD. Now I just don't. Let's see where we are. Best pizza topping. I like mushrooms on pizza. I don't know why. Like pepperoni mushrooms, like kind of my go-to pizza toppings. So random. Most expensive pair of boots. Retail, the most expensive retail is like going to be like $350. I think some have been $400. The most I've ever paid were for the rare gold Superfly 4s, I think. And that was like upwards of $500. I just really wanted those. I don't know why. It's probably like one of the only shoes I've paid like significantly over retail for, but I think I want to say it was about $500. Probably not worth it. Marshalls or Burlington? Burlington. You always find stuff at Burlington. Sneakers or soccer cleats. Marshalls, I don't know. I think it depends on what part of the country you're in, but I almost never find anything in Marshalls. What happened to the Memphis Depay boots you got? I still have them. I don't think you can see them, but they are back there. Video coming soon. Okay, guys, we're going to go like 5 more minutes, and then we're done. Age 25. I think I've answered that like 6 times now. If you got sponsored by Joma, would you rock those Superflies? I mean, Champion Maxes? I think that was the question. It scrolled away. I mean, in doing what I'm doing right now, I mean, I wouldn't really accept sponsorship from anybody because that would not allow me to review products. But if I was a pro and Jomo came around and paid me a lot of money to wear something, yeah, if they were willing to pay me more than anybody else, I'd probably wear Joma. That's really how I feel most professional players work when it comes to what they choose to wear. Should we expect low-cut Predators ever again? If the whole mid-cut thing remains as like a popular trend, probably not. But I guess we'll see what happens with that. The thing about mid-cut versus low-cut and whether or not low-cut's ever going to make a comeback is kids are now growing up with mid-cut shoes pretty much being the norm. So as shoes continue, new models continue to come out, the mid-cut stuff's almost going to be expected. So if they don't put it out, then they could potentially be losing sales because they're low rather than mid. So that's part of the reason why I think mid-cut shoes are probably going to stick around for a significant amount of time. But we also see like those new generation of X's Adidas coming out with, those are remaining as a low-cut shoe. So I think it depends more on the specific line and the concept of the shoe. And I think the Predators probably will remain mid-cut since it is a continuation of the Ace line that was always mid-cut. If you could bring back any player from the past decade, who would it be? I'm gonna say players in their prime. Like growing up, I was a big Fernando Torres fan. Like back when he was at Liverpool, that guy was unbelievable. Obviously, he's still around, he's still playing, but back when Fernando Torres was really, really good, I enjoyed watching him. Adriano, when he was at Inter for that little stint, he was really good as well. Fun to watch. Why doesn't Ronaldo have the same pressure to win the World Cup as Messi? Because he won the Euro, right? He's won an international tournament. The Euro is next to the World Cup, really the next biggest deal. So that's really the only reason why I assume why. He has had international success where Messi has not won anything internationally. Or at least the World Cup. He's not going to have an opportunity to win the Euro. His Adidas X17 plus AG and SG and FG. It's FG AG. You can use it on soft ground, but will the traction actually be very good? No. Ideally, you'd want a soft ground shoe for soft ground for the best traction. A couple more questions. Would you rather 1 year without football and get how much money you want, or be poor but play how much football you want with anyone? Well, here's the thing. If you said forever, then it's a much tougher question. But when you said don't play for 1 year and get as much money as you want, that's kind of a dumb question. Like, just don't play for a year, get all the money you want, and then you're set for life and you can play all you want because you have all the money you want, no? I feel like it's kind of the logical way of doing that. So, number one, first part of that question, that's my answer. Do you have a TFC jersey? Not anything recent. I have like some old ones, but none of the new ones. Don't ask me why. I go to the games, but I'm not one of those guys that goes to the games and feels the need to wear the jersey. I don't know. So do you think a South American team will win the World Cup? Definitely possible. Okay, 3 more questions, guys. 3 more questions. Have you ever gone to any employee store? When I was in Oregon, Oregon at the Nike World Headquarters, we got to go to the Nike employee store there. That's the only employee store I've been to. 2 more questions. 2 more questions. Do an MLS game vlog. The problem with like vlogging something like that is it's next to impossible to do because it's so loud you can't hear anything. And there's really nothing that you're doing at the game besides watching the game. So to try and make an event or at least a somewhat entertaining video of watching a game while you're watching a game is next to impossible. So it just, I have gone to the game and tried to make a video out of it, but it just doesn't end up turning out as a very good video. So I guess that answers that. Where are we here? 1 more question. Are you a fan of modern cleats or back then? Obviously, he's asking, do I like the new stuff or do I like the old stuff? And honestly, I think there's good stuff from both the new and old side of soccer cleats. The big difference is that they've just changed a lot. The new stuff's all about kind of thinner, lighter, knitted uppers, obviously the mid-cut thing. Even laceless has become fairly popular. And there's definitely good stuff within what's new right now. But if you're asking like my personal preference of like what I would choose to wear if I could just wear anything, I like the older stuff, honestly. Like I like the whole power boot thing. While they're not going to increase the power of your shot, I like the old Predators. I really like the T90 series. Kind of the bulkier style of shoe that's just not popular anymore. And the main reason why I think I like it is just because that's kind of what I grew up on. So like older shoes of that style I think are better than what we have now. But if you're talking about like the lightweight thin stuff like the Nike Mercurials, I think the Mercurials are as good as they've ever been. Every new Mercurial Vapor and Superfly gets progressively better in my opinion. So to say that like the Vapor 12 is not as good as the Vapor 1, 2, or 3, I think that's a little bit silly. Especially when you're talking about comfort. Why are the viewers going up right now on this live stream? Okay, I feel compelled to like keep going for... Are you guys still enjoying this? If so, I can keep going. It's not really a big deal. You know what? We'll call it at 1.5 hours. It's been 1 hour, 20 minutes. We'll call it at 1.5. So 10 minutes. Go ahead. What is that? Do people with wide feet have really big sizes? I don't know what you mean. What do you think with regards to different scandals down the years, such as the 2002 World Cup, Chelsea versus Barcelona 2-9? Do you believe they're just conspiracies or genuine corruption? Don't really have strong opinions. Thoughts on Lonzo Ball? I mean, the expectations are obviously set very high for that guy. It's kind of his father's fault, but I think he'll be okay. I mean, this re-aggravating knee injury that he's having is questionable, but for his first year in the NBA, honestly, I don't think the guy's been terrible. We'll see what happens with his shot over the summer if they try to change it. What boot do you recommend for wide feet? In general, leather shoes are probably best for wide feet just because they will stretch. They might not feel... Here's the thing about if you have legitimately wide feet, which most people who say they have wide feet don't actually have wide feet. But when you do legitimately have wide feet, you're never going to have a perfect fit out of the box from pretty much any shoe. But if you do go with something that has a majority leather upper, the leather is going to soften up and stretch to the shape of your foot over a certain period of time. And they will eventually be very comfortable for you. So if you do have wide feet, just don't expect them to feel perfect out of the box. Your thoughts on the off-white boots? I made a video sharing all my thoughts. Just went up like 2 or 3 days ago if you want to check that out. Do you like Air Forces? I do. I don't really own any. I mean, I kind of, whenever I think Air Force One, I kind of think Jordan 1 as well, just because it is such a similar style. Obviously very different sneakers technically, but kind of similar styling. I'd prefer to wear Jordan 1s over Air Force 1s, if that's even a proper comparison. I don't want to miss the stream, but it's 53 hours here. I assume that's like just past midnight. Appreciate you watching. Where are we here? Raptors or Celtics? Raptors. What are the best leather upper boots? Right now, I give that to, if you're talking modern stuff, Legend 7. To me, that's just the winner. But there's lots of good options. Shave your beard at 500K, please. Wow. I don't think anyone's asked that before. I have not been like fully shaved beard, like no beard since, I don't know, it's been a while. You guys have been watching me. I've been making videos pretty much every single day for a few years now. So whenever that was, it was a while ago. Do you know a way of how to keep the color on the Soleplate from peeling? Don't play in them. That's pretty much it. Do you live in Toronto? No. Where are we here? Coconut oil is good for growing your beard. Okay, cool. Boot life hacks. I just see boot life hacks question mark. I think the whole life hack thing, or the boot hacks in general, there's some pretty silly ones out there. There aren't too many things that you can legitimately do that's like a trick that's going to make the shoes feel better or be more comfortable. There's a few things that you can do, but any of the more extreme ones that you see on the internet are kind of just unnecessary or just ineffective in general. Fortnite or PUBG? No, I've never played either of them. Will Adidas ever resume their full sock boot? No, probably not. He's referring to that Adidas PrimeKnit FS. If you guys remember back when they unveiled that as a concept, they never said it was going to come out, and it never actually did end up coming out, but it's probably for the better, because that was a pretty... I mean, I would have been curious to try them, but as a concept, that was just a ridiculous looking shoe. Tricks for leather boots. Honestly, there's not too many tricks. A lot of people think that they're much higher maintenance than they are, and they used to be, but the modern stuff with the treatment processes they have now, they're pretty easy to take care of. As long as you let them dry after each use and you keep them relatively clean, you're not going to have too many issues. You don't really have to treat the upper with any kind of leather cream or leather care products. It really only gets crusty if you let them sit for a very long time without using them, like a couple months, or if they get really, really dirty and you kind of let the mud get caked on the shoe. And again, let them sit for an extended period of time, at which point then, yes, you kind of should treat them with some kind of leather care just to soften it up. But as long as you're keeping them clean and letting them dry, there's not much you need to do. Do you have a signed jersey or cleats? No, nothing. Nothing signed. I'm not super into the whole sports memorabilia thing. It's just, like, if I had something autographed by Messi or Ronaldo, like, cool, but it's not something that I like desperately need to have. If I had like some game worn boots signed by them, that's a little bit different, but that's kind of high price item, I would think. So I don't know. I don't, but it's not something I'm like super desperate to have. Have you ever thought about moving to the US or Europe? Not as easy to do as you would think. Have you met Messi? No. Best takedown model in football currently. The two that jump out to me, if we're talking about like, I guess $130 or less, is Tiempo Legacy 3 and Vapor 12 Pro. Legacy 3 is also Legend 7 Pro. They just changed the name recently. And then at the $80 price point, I think the Hypervenom Phantom 3 is a really solid option. But even at those first takedown tiers, $120, $130, consider all your options because you can often find top-end shoes on sale for around that kind of money. So you don't necessarily have to settle for a takedown depending on what your budget is. Boot with the best shooting experience. Of what's out there right now, I think that I really like shooting in the new Mercurials. The new Preds aren't bad. The new Mercurials, I think, are probably my favorite to shoot the ball in right now. I really like how they feel. Let's see. Worst boot I ever tried. I answered that earlier in the video. Blackout boots with the softest upper. Problem is blackouts aren't readily available. If you can get a Legend 7 blackout, which I think they have made, yes, they definitely have made that. That would be what I would get, but depends on what you can find really, what's available, because blackouts aren't always readily available. What got you into collecting boots? Honestly, I wasn't really, like, everything I had, like, I had a good amount of boots prior to starting this whole channel thing and reviewing just because I was really into it, but I never collected them. Like, there's not a shoe that I ever bought that was like, okay, I'm just going to have these for a collection and look at them and never wear them. Everything I had, I wore. And there's stuff that I wish I hung on to that I got rid of in the early times of this channel, but I had to fund it. So I ended up selling what I had already tested to get new stuff. So the collection thing kind of just happened with the channel as stuff started to accumulate, but I never really set out with the goal of starting a big collection of soccer cleats. It just kind of turned into this, which sounds crazy, but that's the truth. Let's see where we are here. If you could merge two boot silos together, I like that. I'm going to say Mercurial Soleplate stud pattern, whether it's Vapor 11 or Vapor 12 with the split sole. I kind of like the split sole. I think it looks cool. I don't mind how it feels. So that Soleplate stud pattern with like a Tiempo Legend upper, I think that would be pretty cool. I'd love to see something like that. Not sure how realistic that is, but that's what I'd like to see. Any other sports you play or like? I play hockey because I'm Canadian. Which some people say I sound really Canadian, and I kind of hear it sometimes, but most of the time I just don't. But whatever. Okay, a couple more questions because we're coming up on an hour and a half. It's been a while. Best collar type in football currently. I really like the collar on the Predators right now. just because it's really, you don't feel it, you don't notice it. That's why I like it. The best fitting collar, though, is probably the Oprah 2 collar. Superfly Elite without sock or Adidas X17 Plus. So Vapor or X17 Plus. Personally, I prefer the X, but I think the Vapors are really, really good. They're just quite a bit different when it comes to fit and feel. Last question. Let's try and make it a good one. Get your questions in. Oh, okay. I'm just going to, if you can combine 2 players, who would it be? I mean, I think everyone knows the answer to that. Messi and Ronaldo as a combo, that'd be pretty ridiculous. One more. Where are we? How can I buy Superfly 4s? Last question. Anything, if you're looking for anything older that stores are just not going to have in stock anymore, going on eBay is pretty much going to be your best bet. Whether or not they'll have exactly what you're looking for is obviously something that I couldn't really say. But just be aware when you go on eBay that it's people reselling stuff. So the prices are going to be high, they're going to be low, you're going to have real stuff, you're going to have counterfeit products. So you really have to be careful and kind of do your research and know what you're buying. Make sure there's pictures, make sure it's a credible seller, and just do your research. But getting anything older, eBay is going to be your best bet. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been a 1.5 hour Q&A session. Let me know if this is something that you guys would like to see more of, because if it is, I can definitely make these happen. Maybe once every week on the weekend, on a different day. I'm not really sure. But if this is something you guys enjoy, I actually don't mind doing this at all. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to those of you who donated and asked questions. Really do appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one, guys.